Konnichiwa. 안녕하세요. Ciao, ciao. Hello, my international friends. I'm teacher O.D.I.V.A, and today I'm here to give you a little tip on pronunciation. So, pronunciation is something I have studied in depth because I also have studied several foreign languages. Living overseas and teaching overseas, I had to speak foreign languages and I had to speak them almost perfectly because the areas that I lived in weren't urban or metropolis or city areas. So I really, really had to correct my pronunciation and make sure that I pronounced words almost like a native speaker or just like a native speaker in order for people to understand me, especially in the areas where they didn't hear a foreign accent before. So if I didn't speak it perfectly, they would say in Korean, uh, bulayo, or in Italian, no capito. So, oh, and of course, Japanese, wakaranai. So it's very important to be able to pronounce your words clearly and slowly. English is very unique in the fact that we enunciate a lot of the words we say. And what I mean by enunciate is opening the mouth wide enough to kind of form a shape of every word that you say. And a lot of languages, uh, particularly, I've noticed some Asian languages, it's not necessary to open your mouth so wide to pronounce what you're going to say. Now, when you are doing that with English, then you see we have a big problem because who can understand that? With English, you have to open up to be able to say these words and you must enunciate, use that jaw to pronounce clearly. Another tip I want to show you here today is for the words that use the letter F, V, and W. These are tricky words, particularly in Europe and Asia. Okay, so looking closely, F words like fine, fail, fall, fan, telephone, and wife. A key to pronunciation practice is when you are watching YouTube videos and when you are watching television programs in another language, try and repeat everything that the native speaker is saying. This could really annoy a live teacher when you're in the classroom and she hears several people repeating every word she says, like an echo. I had some students do that, but I understood that that helped them to quickly process the pronunciation and the words that they were hearing because they weren't just hearing them and putting them in one part of their brain, they're also repeating them, speaking them, feeling them, and they would start to speak and hear and listen all at once and think about it all at once. So practice repeating television shows, not your teacher so much, but television shows and YouTube videos because they don't mind so much. Here we are looking at the first letter, F. F. So F is made by putting the bottom lip to the top row of teeth and blowing air. Fine, fail, fan, telephone. phone, wife, wife. So you get a very strong F sound with that word wife at the end. Now, a lot of times when I teach this, my students feel uncomfortable or shy about making these sounds because when you first make them, you do it incorrectly and it feels uncomfortable for the way that you are used to speaking is quite different. So you have to change that and just when no one is looking, get a mirror, put it in front of you and say wife. Okay? All right. Now let's look at the next letter V. Here we have the word vine, veil, vet, van, devil, drive. Okay. So a very strong V sound at the last word, drive. Now, how do we get that V sound? Quite easily, actually. Takes a lot of practice to remember to do it, but if we take our two fingers and put them on our chin, and then we say vine, veil, vet, van, devil, drive. Not only am I blowing air out like I did with the F, now I have a vibration here on my chin. Okay, you should feel the word v like an engine in a car. When you touch the front of the car, you feel that vibration motion. You should feel motion here. And if you're not feeling it, you're not doing it correctly. Of course, in time, when you have lots of practice, and of course, for me, a native speaker, it comes naturally. I can say drive without having to work at it, but you must exaggerate that sound and say drive and try to hold it as long as possible. The longer you hold it, the more stronger the sound will be and the more comfortable you become over time. Next letter, W. Wine. Okay, so wine and vine. The wine comes from the vine, the grapevine, but there is a very different sound when these words are made. So don't get them confused. Look at these words wine, whale, wall, wet, always, between. Okay, so wah, 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 wah. You should feel air coming out of the mouth and blowing on these two fingers whenever you say the W sound. So, wine, wine. So, separate it and say it slowly. Wine, wine, ale. Imagine you're blowing out a candle. Wall, wall, wall. Wet, wet, wet. All ways, ways, ways. Um, it takes time and it may not feel comfortable when you first practice this kind of pronunciation. But I promise, with anything, practice makes perfect. So do your best. No one is watching you now. You can play this video again and again and use it to remember how to pronounce these words so that people can understand your English and your speaking clear. That's all for today. Bye, international friends.